Hi there, welcome to Floating in Dreams. This is my decluttering series for 2024. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. This video is going to be 1 out of 5 different declutters that I have for you this year to clear out my makeup collection. And I know that everybody just likes to have a nosy around, so there's that as well. If you're looking for swatches, I swatched out most of my makeup collection in February, so make sure to link you to those videos down below so that you can have a peek. I have reviews up with most of these products over on the blog, or either here on the channel, so there's lots of other content that you can find where you can find, like if you're interested in looking these up. I will also have some links in the description box in case you are interested in purchasing in any of these products if they are still around, because I am part of an affiliate link program and I do have an affiliate link for most of these products as well. Just to be fully transparent here. The reason why I'm keeping the same intro around is because I always need to get a couple of things out of the way before I show you my makeup collection and before I film declutters. Please know that just because I'm decluttering my makeup collection doesn't mean you have to. I will try to rehome as many products as possible, especially if they're still really good condition. If I've only used them once or twice, they're definitely going to go to friends and family. I have a bunch of colleagues who are looking for makeup apparently, so that's where most of it is going to go probably. However, I also get rid of things because they are old or because formulas have separated or whatever. So there are also going to be a lot of things that I simply cannot pass on to people because it's just gotten to that point where I'm like, I've used this a lot. I've been into that with my finger a lot, or if it's like a product, like a lip product with a doe foot applicator, I don't necessarily feel comfortable passing that on to anyone. Please also know that just because I declutter something and it's not my favorite, that doesn't mean that it cannot be yours. I also want you to bear in mind that I do film regular content on this channel and that I have been a makeup reviewer for years. So there are a lot of products that I get to review that I kind of know in advance might not work for me. I know sometimes people feel like, why do you keep buying products by brand XYZ? Because all you do is declutter them again. I buy things to review, and that does mean that I sometimes will hang on to things because I want to keep it around to be able to film content with it, but it also means that I sometimes get rid of things because if I've bought an entire shade range of lipsticks, those aren't necessarily all going to be perfect for me, but I will keep around the 1 or 2 shades that worked for me really, really well, and those are the things that end up going into my actual makeup collection. It's just a great way to, have an overview again and clear out my makeup collection and just have it be ready for the new year. And for those people who might be new here, then it may be good to know who you're actually watching. My name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, and I have been making content for a very, very long time. My content is mainly focused around eyeshadow palettes, Estee and Catrice, but I also really enjoy getting the use out of my makeup, so I do like to do series where I go back to older products, where, I shop my stash and not only focus on the new. So if that's something you're interested in, then I hope you'd like to consider subscribing. Welcome to part 2 of this decluttering series. Today we're doing all of my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and face palettes. So let me move this blush category out of the way because these are powder blushes so that we have a little space to talk about things. We've got bronzers over here, we've got highlighters over here, and there are liquid and cream things lying about everywhere. So let's first talk about face palettes. So all of the face palettes are right here in the front, and again, there is a super easy declutter here. The Essence Bloom Baby Bloom Eye and Face palette. This is just not something I go for. I bought this so I would have a blush, bronzer, and highlighter to put in a recent Essence first impression video that I did. It's got some eyeshadows. I didn't love this, so this can be passed on really easily. The face palette I reach for the most is the Dior. This is their Backstage Universal Glow palette, I believe it's called. This is stunning. I love traveling with this. I mix these two together for my bronzer. I've got a blush, I've got a highlighter. This I love. That's a definite keep. Then I have the Sydney Grace empty palette where they have like space for 2 face things. And the highlighter is a little bit too intense for me. I do enjoy the blush, but I need to put the blush into a different compact so I can actually like start using it. So I'm gonna go and see if I can like free up this palette so I can put it with my single shadows, because I like it better for that. And keep this around in a different way. Some products that I always keep around because A, the packaging is stunning, and also the actual products inside it are stunning, are by Natasha Denona. I got this in a set deal on Beautylish. The Love Glow palette with a really stunning like blush combo. This highlighter works quite well on me. The cream in here I don't really use a lot. And then we have the bronze cheek, and this has the bronzers and highlighters that work for me. So this cream bronzer under the flap, this works quite well on me together with this powder thing. So when I used to travel quite a bit for work, like almost every single week I had to sleep somewhere else. And these were lovely because I could just do a full face makeup look with just these two palettes. I wouldn't do eyeshadow with these because some of the shades that don't work on my face I can use as eyeshadow. So these are great for when I'm in a pinch and I need to have like a quick sleepover and I do want to bring makeup, but I don't want to bring loads of different products. These two are my holy grail. So I would just bring these two palettes and I can pretty much like bring a skin tint and a concealer and I'm good to go. I have the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow in the travel size. If I'm going to be keeping a bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury, it's going to be this one, but I think I'm better off putting this with my bronzer, so I actually reach for it because I don't think of this as a face palette. So this again I need to rework into my collection somehow. Before I owned the Dior, the Sleek Face Form palette in Fair was the one I would always travel with. I still want to keep this around because it's such a good staple. It's got a really nice bronzer, highlighter, and blush that just work with my complexion really well. It is very sort of 2016 makeup style-wise, so I prefer the glow of the Dior a little bit better. But this way I also have a matte bronzer to travel with, which can be great to substitute for eyeshadow. So it's very often a toss-up between this and the Dior when I'm traveling. So this is super old in my collection. I think I must have bought this like more than a decade ago, but it's still going strong and I still love it. This Fluorosis one, look at the packaging. I just want to keep this around for the packaging for sure. This was sent to me in PR. I got a whole bunch of things from the brand and this is stunning, but the shades aren't really great for my complexion. This is like the peachy highlighter is my favorite, but I don't want to mess this up. Like, look at this. I've swatched it, but I don't want to mess this up. And I do want to keep a Fluorosis product around, and I think packaging wise this is one of the most exquisite things I've ever received. So this is going to be a makeup memory box item. I'm not going to be passing this on, but it is decluttered. And then we have these two. These are the final two palettes left. I don't do face palettes a lot. This is new from Catrice for their spring summer collection, the Magic Shaper palette. Most of these shades are too dark for me. So I cannot really make this work. I just kind of bought it because else I didn't have a bronzer for that video that I did. And that way I could like show you another product they have and swatch it for you. So I did put this in my first impression video for sure, but this is not for me. So maybe I can make somebody else happy with this. And then we have Wayne Goss, and this I just need to put with my blushes rather than my face palettes because I go into this for this really nice magenta color blush. It's in Vivid Azalea. The highlighter I don't think is too special, and I have single highlighters that do this. So I don't need to keep this with my highlighters, so I just need to rework this and put it with my blushes instead. So this is a bit unsatisfying perhaps because I'm getting rid of 3 and I'm keeping 7. I do want to like put 2 things with singles rather than thinking of it as a face palette, and I'm reworking these Sydney Gray, so essentially I'm just keeping 4 of them around as actual face palettes, which I think is a pretty good number. They're the ones I use. I don't love face palettes because I have so many single things, and in my day-to-day life I go for singles over palettes. So let's move on to bronzer. So these are all powder bronzers, save for a few. Like a couple of them are cream bronzers that come in a little like container, so they're not like a stick or something. So the Makeup by Mario is like that, the Soft Sculpt skin enhancer, and this is really pretty. I loved it. I used it in a Shop My Stash in January. Thought it looked very stunning on, so I want to keep that. But I also just want to keep one of these two from Makeup Revolution and Catrice. They're essentially dupes for the Makeup by Mario. The Catrice one I like, so I may want to put this with like products I want to keep around from Catrice, because this is a really nice bronzer from them. As like a reminder that they do something nice like this. But I feel the Makeup Revolution has a slightly better color for me, and I like the texture just a bit better. This hard pans super easily. So that's why I'm keeping the Makeup Revolution, and I'm decluttering the Catrice. The Kruidvat Sunny Side Up. I was very surprised by this. This is quite light, and I haven't reviewed it yet, but I would like to review it because I did like it upon first impression. So that's why I'm keeping that around. That is a newer to me product. I have two Kiko products, and I'm sort of torn because when I swatched out all of my bronzers for you in February, I did definitely see that Flawless Fusion is much better for me in terms of shade. Rather than the Radiant Touch bronzer, this is a touch too dark for me. But it does work for me in the summertime, so I'm like torn. Do I want to keep both? Or do I want to keep one? Because I still have cream and liquid bronzers coming up in a second. And I have another Kiko bronzer in there. So I'm veering towards getting rid of the dark thing, keeping the lighter thing, and then keeping the cream. Because that way I still have like one of each from Kiko. I don't need to keep everything in my collection, I feel. And it's going to free up space for other things that are older that I know are going to work for me because I love them. I've got two Fenty things. I have the powder bronzer in the Sun, which you can't see it in this lighting, but it's got actual rings going on. This is so close to hitting pan. So I want to keep that because I love it. But I'm going to declutter the cream. I don't contour. I don't use things like this, so I just need to be realistic and get rid of this. I have my Becca. Rest in peace, Becca. I still love this thing. I sort of go between the Fenty, the Becca, the Dior, and the Nabla. Those are like four older bronzers in my collection that I love. This was a recent discovery. It's from Peri Para. This is a contour shade, according to them, but I can bronze with this. This is why I don't contour. Contour shades don't work for me. Very often if brands say they are a contour, they are too warm and they don't work for me. That's why I'm using the Peri Para V shading as a bronzer, and then it is very nice. I mentioned the Nabla. Let's just tackle this one then. The Skin Glazing Bronzer in the shade Ombre. Really, really pretty. I am going to be keeping that because it's just a classic. That's why it looks atrocious in the pan. The Dior, this is a mouthful, the Forever Natural Bronzer in the shade Tan Bronze. This apparently now has a limited edition collection out. Very pretty. I really enjoy that. I do want to keep both of these Catrice bronzers to have a lighter and darker for the summertime kind of shade. This is the one I'm currently using in my Shop My Stash, and I'm loving it all over again. This is the shade they discontinued. I have decided that the shade I'm going to keep for the summertime is going to be my Urban Decay Beach Bronzer. This is super old in my collection. This is the only bronzer I have that is a bit more reddish toned. But if I want to go like summer sun-kissed look, this is the one I need to go for. So keeping that. And I also really, really desperately want to keep the Take Home the Bronze bronzer from The Balm. I say this all the time. I don't swatch in declutter videos because I want to keep everything. And this is one, when I did the swatches for my bronzer collection, I just saw how unique this shade was for me. And you can see how terrible this looks in the pan because I've used it so much. Another one that I sort of wish I want to hit pan on someday. So I'm going to keep The Balm. Then I have this guy, the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Bronzer. The packaging is ginormous, and I just mentioned how I prefer the bronzer in this. So if I'm going to be keeping a Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, I want to keep this in my makeup collection over this. And I think I can make somebody else very happy with this for sure. This Nabla palette holds a Sydney Gray single. This is very pretty, but it's very similar to my Becca bronzer. So I don't feel I need to keep this around. This was in a mystery bag. I didn't choose this myself. Keeping the palette, but getting rid of the actual product. And then we have NYX, and I'm not really sure what I want to do with this. Because I didn't like both of these upon first impression. So I have the Sweet Cheeks in So Taupe. I used to own the original taupe blush from NYX, but this is far deeper, far warmer. then I remember that original shade to be, so that can go. That's an easy declutter. And then I have this, and this is just far too orange, so this is gonna go. Don't love that one. And then I have my Pat McGrath. This is the newest one. I haven't even put this on my face yet as we're talking. I still need to make this work in a makeup look, and that's definitely something that's going to happen. I haven't bought too many new bronzers over time, so most of them I put on my face at least once, but this has been in my collection for just a few weeks. Then we're going to move into this cubby, because here we have cream bronzers and liquid things. So I have favorites here. I also have things here that don't work for me because they're too dark. You name it, I've got it. So I really, really, really love this thing. This is the Rare Beauty in Power Boost. It looks a little bit gross, but it's really pretty. That's one of my favorites, so that's a definite keep. That's sort of what I hold all of my stick and cream liquid bronzers to. I said I had a Kiko version of this as well, the Sculpting Touch. This is stunning. It's why I'm getting rid of the Radiant Bronze or the Radiant Touch, because I feel this shade just works really well for me and I can get away with this year round. And I'm currently a little bit more into creams than I am into powders. These two I would like to keep. I really enjoy the Essence one here, and I enjoy the Milk. They're very similar though. I like the shade of the Essence one better than I do the Milk one. Then I have these squeezy tube things from e.l.f., the Halo Glow Contour and the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm going to keep the Charlotte Tilbury even though the shade is too dark for me. It doesn't work as a contour. If I want to contour, the e.l.f. things are far better for me, but I do like it, and again, I can like do content with this and compare them. That's still something I want to do, and I really like my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer in Feeling Shady. To some people, this is a contour. On me, this is a bronzer. Remember what I said in my recent bronzer video, you can very easily use contours as bronzers if you're pale like me, and bronzers are usually too orange for you. The Magic Shaper from Catrice, this was nothing special. Very thick, very gloopy, cakey. Didn't love it, so that's gonna go. And then I have the Sydney Grace bronzers. I'm gonna keep some of my Sydney Grace cream products that I got in the mystery bags, but sadly the two bronzer shades were too dark and too warm toned for me. So these two I'm going to be getting rid of. And I do want to keep this because this is too dark, as you can see, but I still want to put this on my face because when I did a first impression with the Kitefoot products at the end of 2023, this looked really pretty on, actually. It was very stunning. I thought it was going to be way too dark, but it is probably more of a summer product for me. So I'm going to keep it, and that's really good. Like before, I couldn't find anything in this cubby, and now I can. Same thing here, now that I actually look at everything that I'm keeping, because I do really enjoy this product, it just didn't fit anywhere anymore. I can still put the Charlotte Tilbury, look, I can still put the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer in the back, and I still have a bit of space left, so yeah, I'm keeping the Charlotte Tilbury in because I don't want to get rid of that per se if I have space. I'm going to get rid of 9 bronzers. I think that's a pretty good number. I think it's roughly a third. I think I have about like just over 30 in total. So again, a third of the bronzers are gone. I think we're doing pretty well. Welcome to my cream and liquid highlighters. We're going to go through those first, and then we'll just tackle powders because the powders are a mess. I definitely need to cull there. There are some things I can get rid of here as well. So this is by Makeup Revolution. It's the Bright Light highlighter. The cap, ever since I used it, it won't shut. I'm not sure what's wrong with this thing, but it's just a bit messy, and I'm just gonna put it in the trash because that was not good. I'm going to get rid of the Born to Glow from NYX as well. This is far too intense for my liking. So that's why that can go. And I'm going to get rid of this thing from Catrice, the All Over Glow Tint. I have these from Catrice that I like a lot better. So that's why I'm going to be keeping those. And they are, of course, dupes for some Charlotte Tilbury things, like the e.l.f. and like the Essence. We're going to see a lot of these kind of things. So I like all 5 of these, so these are not going anywhere. I like all of them. The Catrice ones were limited edition from the Disney Villains ones. That's the one I have, but they do bring these back. So if you see these squeezy tube kind of products from Catrice, They very often keep the shades the same. They did them again for Christmas 2023, I found out. So that's why they just rotate them into their limited editions from time to time. So these 5 products I really enjoy, so these I'm going to keep. I'm also going to be keeping my Rare Beauty liquid highlighter in the shade Mesmerize, very pretty, and the Glossier Halo Scope in the shade Quartz. Those are long-standing favorites. If you've been on the channel, you know I love those. The e.l.f. Jelly Pop, I have the e.l.f. one in the squeezy tube, so I don't feel I need to keep this. So that can go. This Kiko thing was really pretty. This was in their recent Stellar Love limited edition for Valentine's Day. And this is really nice. It's a very nice, cooler toned peachy pink. It's the only way I can describe it. So I'm inclined to say keep. And then I just have potted things. And here I know I need to get rid of some of these from Sydney Grace. The one that worked best for me was Sugar Cookie. This is a really nice, intense, lighter pink. So I want to keep those. And then I'm going to get rid of these two. All As Bright As Pretty, I can make it work, but it's just a little bit too deep. So it doesn't highlight much. And this is far too intense for me for a highlighter. And then we have the REM Beauty Living Luminizer. I love this thing to pieces. This is so pretty. I really enjoy that product. If you were looking for that product at an affordable price point and you happen to be in the UK, Studio London, which is sold at Superdrug, has a very nice face gloss, and I like this about as much as I do the RMS one. So you don't have to go expensive if you don't want to. And that cubby has just a little bit more overview. Again, it's not ideal, but maybe I can spread this out or maybe put some of these with my powders once I'm done, especially these potted things I'd like to put in here. So let me get to that so we can truly reorganize. And I've decided to do this the lazy way. I just keep everything in the container because I kind of know what I would like to pull and what not. But I'll put these like extra things that are lying on top to put these like here off to the side. Those are things from my Shop My Stash and things that I have been using or that are newer to me. So there's that for sure. 2 things I know I can get rid of because they're just not that unique, and this is going to really, really minimize my highlighter collection, are these 2 from Florasis. Again, Florasis sent me some PR in 2023. Again, stunning products, but I'm afraid to use these because these just look too pretty. I don't want to keep everything around for the packaging. I just think I'll pass these on. This was too dark, and this champagne shade is too similar to other things I already have. So not unique in terms of what my collection has to offer, but these are really nice highlighters. I don't dislike the product at all. The more unique shade in my collection is Mars Melter from Kaleidos. So this is one I would like to keep. And remember what I said about that Wayne Goss highlighter in the palette having something similar as a single? That's this thing. This is from Kruidvat. This is the Lighten Up highlighter. This looks like nothing in the pan. It's got a little bit of glow in this lighting, but very often it just looks like a flat white, but this is so pretty. It's a drugstore product. If it's under €5, this feels high-end the way it goes on. I just love this thing to pieces, so that's another keep. Benefit Cookie. I still have mine, and I like it. I do really like this, but I don't think it's unique enough anymore in my collection. It's weirdly bulky. It may just be time to get rid of this. For now, it's like declutter maybe pile over here. This one I love from Hourglass. This is one of my all-time favorites, so that's a definite keep. This one I haven't reviewed yet, and I feel a little guilty because I did buy it quite a while ago, but it's the Enlighten Powder Highlighter from Rare Beauty, the one that shatters on everyone. I'm happy mine made it in one piece because I ordered it from Sephora, so it did make a bit of a track. But it's fine. Kiko, this is one of my all-time favorites. It's got a huge dent. You can't really see it in this lighting. There you have it a little bit. But yeah, one of my all-time favorites, not going anywhere. And I love my Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb in How Many Carats. Loving that. I would love to try the Fenty Beauty, the new ones that come in like a single compact. I'm very excited for that. This is a cream highlighter, but it ended up with my powders. This is by Lily by Red, and this is a K-Beauty brand. It's just so difficult to open these. I wish they were a little easier. But yeah, this is really pretty. Keeping that. This is new from Catrice. This is a Space Glam face highlighter, and it's like a multi-chrome highlighter, but from the drugstore. But if you want that pinky blue flash, then I think the Meta Glow that is new from Essence, like these products have just been released, is a little bit stronger. Like I feel this is a bit more neutral. It's more true multi-chrome because this does have the green, and this is a duochrome with the blue and the purple. So I like both of these. I do. I'm going to keep them. The formulas feel very high quality. The one I'm going to get rid of is from the same. This is Baby Berry Beam in their Prism highlighter, and it's a pretty dark pink with a gold flash. It's pretty on. It's really, really pretty, but now I have the Lily by Red, and I have another one from a K-beauty brand. This is by Colorgram, and I just like these a little bit better in terms of what they do for me. So that's why I'm keeping two of my K-beauty things, but I'm going to get rid of that. This one from Catrice is really, really pretty. It was limited edition. Nobody talked about it. I just picked them up on the whim. This is Lilac Frozen Glow, and this is so pretty on. It just, when I swatch it, I feel it's very special, but then when I put it on my cheeks, I feel it's a little less special. This is currently in my Shop My Stash, so I can't declutter it yet. Not sure I want to either, because I do like it, and I like the packaging. One of my favorites, like icy pink highlighters, is from Dior. This is the Forever Couture Luminizer in Pink Glow. This is really pretty. Keeping that. We have another Catrice thing. This is the More Than Glow highlighter. I do want to keep some more intense highlighters around. Like if I get rid of Benefit, I need to keep this one. So this one will stay. I can get rid of my Urban Decay one. This is in the shade Aura. This is so old, but I still love this thing. And now that we're getting these like duochrome lavender things again, I'm completely feeling it. So would like to keep those. This is ColourPop packaging, and it had a blush in, but this is a Sydney Grace highlighter. And this is pretty, but it's also very intense. Like it's just a little too much for what I'm liking. So what I was thinking is maybe put the blush that I like from Sydney Grace in here and take out the highlighter here. And that way I have a nice compact for that really nice, very soft highlighter from Sydney Grace. And that's another declutter here. We have the Gimme Glow highlighter from Essence. Love this thing. This is really, really pretty. But I don't think I necessarily need to keep this heart-shaped one around from Catrice. I might put it in the makeup memory box just because it has the fun packaging. This is a very pretty formula though. It is like that gel to powder that Essence and Catrice have been doing for some time now. It feels high-end. It has stunning packaging, but the shade isn't necessarily my thing. But this metallic red, yes. Makeup memory box. It was from a Valentine's Day collection they did this year. The Glow Lights highlighter from Catrice is nice, but I have other highlighters from Catrice I like better, even though this is the more recent one. And I do think this is a little bit of a foolish product because you can see where I've dug my brush in and the orange shade that it has is disappearing. So it is essentially that lighter pink you see in the middle. And I just feel I have enough of those. So the Glow Lights can go. Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Privilege. This is my favorite peach tone powder highlighter. So keeping that. Keeping Fenty Beauty Kilowatt in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I've got Baby Pan in this. I don't use this a whole lot anymore, but I do really enjoy the shade. So this is going to stay. And here I feel I need to take a decision because not all of these Becca ones are wholly unique anymore in my makeup collection. I just have them because I enjoy the formula. Again, if I want to go more intense, I tend to reach for these. I have Pearl, which is a pure white. And I don't have anything else that is like a pure white highlighter. So I'm intending to say keep on Pearl. Vanilla Quartz was super special back when it first came out for me, but I'm not sure this is still as special. However, I did declutter some things that have this shade. So this is a maybe. Let's put it next to Cookie so that I have my maybe pile here. And then I have Prismatic Amethyst, which I do want to keep. Like this is the one I've used the most. So I definitely want to keep that. Then I have MAC's Double Gleam, which is essentially Vanilla Quartz, and I would reach for this over Vanilla Quartz. And I have Show Gold, and this is why I'm getting rid of Baby Berry Bean from the same, because this is essentially the same thing. A pink with a gold flash, and I like this better on myself. Then I have a very pretty Catrice highlighter that nobody talked about. This is the oil-infused highlighter. This is very soft focus, but very pretty. And then I have my Melt highlighter, which is, again, essentially what Vanilla Quartz does. This is the Digital Dust highlighter in Morning Star. Loving that one. And then I have some more Kiko ones here. I have the Glitter Baked, which I haven't used much yet, but I feel it looks very glittery when you buy it, but it's not super glittery once applied, I feel. And then I have, what's this called? The Ultimate Glow in Coral, which is a nice, really, like, nice peachy thing. And then I just have some classics. I have Fort de France from NARS. I keep this every year because I just love it. I only wear this in the Christmas season, but it works quite well for me. And finally, we have Buckbeak from ColourPop. And here's the thing. I like this. I do really like, I enjoy this thing. I really, really do. But it's not exactly the right shade for me. And Declutter the Buckbeak one that's in here. So let me put it all back in, and then we'll have a look at whether I can keep Vanilla Quartz and the Becca one. Alright, so I'm pretty satisfied with the way this looks. I have space for both my Cookie and my Vanilla Quartz highlighter. I'm currently not really into buying a lot of highlighters, so I just have my little cubby with the creams, and then I had space to put the potted cream things in here as well, which I like. And this way everything just fits really nicely. So let me tell you how much I got rid of. So I'm getting rid of a total of 13 different highlighters, which I'm super happy with. This is, of course, Makeup Memory Box, but we also have plenty of things that we can just pass on. But here comes the mother load. These are all of my blushes, and especially in this section that I'm laying out for you right now, these are all of my cream and liquid blushes, and as you can see, it's just way too much. And I keep adding things. So powder blushes I think we're going to be fine with. Those are like long-standing favorites, no issues there. But the cream section, that's where we need to cull and where we really need to take a critical look at what we've got. So let me like make a bit of space so we can have a nice look at all of these blushes. So we'll save powders for last. First things first, Makeup by Mario. This is one of the newer things I got, so this is one I still really, really want to test out. This is in Dusty Rose, and I really, really enjoy this shade, so can't wait to try that a little bit more. The Essence What a Tint is gonna go because I don't like these kind of products. I just bought it for a review. Some things that I love are these things from Glossier. They are the Clout Paints. I have Wisp and I have Storm. I like Wisp better than I do Storm. So maybe keep one, get rid of the other. This is going to be maybe pile for now because I do really enjoy the formula, but I don't think I need to keep everything. Something that is quite new to me are these things from Essence and Catrice. They are also doing these kind of like liquidy things. And I really like the look of these on my cheeks. So again, do I need to keep both though? From the Essence one, I still need to test these out. So one would have to go into like a, I still need to test it out pile, but I like this shade best on me. So that's going to stay for sure. From Catrice, I have Pink Feelings and Velvet Rose. And again, I need to like test these out for a review. So I'm going to keep the darker one and keep the brighter pink there. I've got plenty of bright pinks. This I didn't like at all, the Super Dewy one. I don't even want to review this, so that's why it's going to go. From Makeup Revolution, that is. In terms of like a bright pink, I did like the bronzer from this line from Essence, but I didn't love the blushes per se. It's just not my kind of shade, so I like that better in a powder than I do in a cream. In terms of like a soft rosy pink, I love this one from Amuse. This is really pretty. This is their Cheek Flirt, I believe, in the shade Sprinkles. So love the Rare Beauty in Nearly Rose. This is currently in my Shop My Stash. I know not everybody talks about these, but this is the kind of bright pink that looks really stunning on me. That like fresh in from the cold kind of thing. I love these little juicy pink things from Apio. So I've mentioned these a lot on my channel. I love all 4 shades. These aren't going anywhere. The e.l.f. Putty Blush in Tahiti is really pretty, but it is a bit too coral for my liking. So this is one I'm going to declutter. I like both of these as well, the Studio London and the I'm Uni, and this is what I mean with going for darker shades, even if you have fair skin, because when you sheer them out, they work really well and they're a bit more cool toned. That's why I have the shade Storm from Glossier, but I feel like essentially these 3 shades do the same thing, and this is super pigmented, so I'm not sure I need to keep those. This is a bit more glossy, this is a little bit more matte. Ooh. Not entirely sure about these. I think I want to keep the Studio London for now, and the I'm Uni is going to go onto the maybe pile, because I know I have shades like that coming up in other things as well. Need to keep the Giorgio Armani, the Neo Nude in shade 50. This is stunning. This is very unique. It is being discontinued, I think. I struggle finding this when I try to link it anywhere. So if you can still find it anywhere, maybe grab it while you can. We have this one from NYX, the Wonder Stick in Ginger and Magenta, I believe. I bought it mainly because I like this shade, but the other side is just a brown. So, not my kind of shade, so this can go, and I didn't like the texture. I very often don't like these twist-up stick things if they're not creamy enough. I have one from e.l.f. here, so the Halo Glow Blush I do want to keep because I think that's pretty. I have 2 of the Charlotte Tilbury. I have Pillow Talk and Peachgasm. Peachgasm works like a blush on me. Pillow Talk and Peachgasm both work as blushes, so I'm going to keep them. Some more K-Beauty here then, About Tone and Neeker. I really enjoy both of these. Very pretty shades, so I'll keep those. Like this one from Victoria Beckham. It does require quite a lot of warming up. This is in the shade Mini Skirt. This was sent to me by the brand just for full transparency. I bought one of the products myself when I was in London. They saw my post and they contacted me saying, hey, would you like to receive some products? And I said yes, and they sent me my entire wish list, and then I got even more myself. So this is a brand I really enjoy. Let me condense this down. I've got 2 Rare Beauty because I really love them. I have Hope and Encourage, so keeping those. I have this, the Miracle Balm from Jones Road. This is, again, that deeper shade that I enjoy, so I don't need to keep everything. This can be like that shade as well. This one from Kiko, I really, really enjoy. It's got a cream in the top, and then it has a cream at the bottom and a powder at the top, and this looked really stunning on, so love the formula as well, so I want to keep that. I love this pinky shade. This is from the Jelly Dough Blusher line from Holika Holika. This is a really nice natural pink. Keeping that. For a peach tone blush in terms of a cream, I like this Melt one in Honey Thief. But I will be decluttering Daydreamer. This is just too brown for me. It's too deep, too brown. Doesn't work. I have this super light one from Fui. This is a K-Beauty brand. It's that putty texture. Really enjoy this one. Really nice lavender blush. I love the Tower 28 blushes, the Beach Please. I decluttered the one I used to have because it was too similar to the things I already owned. This is a bit more unique. It's a really nice bright pink. It pulls a bit more blue toned on my skin tone. So on me, this actually looks like a light pink. Like a light lavender, I should say. Love the Fenty Cream Cheeks. This is in Strawberry Drip, and this is a coral that pulls more pink toned. For a warmer neutral tone moment, I really like this M Cosmetics one in the shade Venetian Rose. I really enjoy this. I would like to get some more. I had 4 of these. I decluttered 2 of them last year. One of them is in my makeup memory box, but I do want to get some other shades. They do a lilac one of these, and I really want to try it. My blush discovery of 2023 are these ones from MUA, the liquid blushes that they do. Dusty Rose is my favorite, so that's a definite keep. Watermelon, not really my shade, so that's gonna go. And I'm going to be keeping Razzleberry, because this is, again, that darker shade. See, this is why I can get rid of Storm, because this is a little bit brighter, a little bit more purple. This has more brown, and then I still have that as a liquid. So that can stay, and then the other one needs to go. This one from ColourPop, a Super Shock formula. I love it for eyeshadow, but for the cheeks, I haven't loved this. And this is one of their matte ones. It is a really pretty shade, but I don't wear it. So this needs to go. I haven't really used this one enough yet. It was pretty, the Kitefield Dreamy Glow Gel Cream in Delicate Rouge. So this can be one I want to keep. Lily by Red, I really enjoy this. This is their Love Beam Cheek Balm in shade 3. And this is why I can put some of these like Catrice and Essence things down here, because I just like this shade a bit better. So keeping that. The Fève Pit of Hat, still need to review this. This is really lovely. It's very intense though. And then I have my Sydney Grace ones. Here again, I need to keep some and get rid of some others. Strawberry, that's what it's called? Strawberry Cream or Dream. Far too dark for me, so that can go. But I do want to keep the other two. My Better Half it is quite peachy pink, so it's not my favorite, but it is a good neutral. And I do want to keep some of the neutrally shades, but my favorite is Strawberry Cheesecake. It's that reddish tone that just works really well on me. It's like a reddish rosy tone. Very pretty on. And then I have these two liquid blushes with the stamp from Catrice. Mine looks atrocious because I pressed into it way too hard. These are really bulky though. They are really, really bulky, but I do like these. I just need to use them with fingers rather than the stamp. I like this shade better on me than I did the lighter one. So like in terms of a liquid blush, I would go for this shade better than I do this. Like I have shades like this, like these neutrally kind of leaning shades in my powder blushes. And I just prefer applying those with powder. And then this one can go because I'm keeping way too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 things that I'm decluttering in the cream cheek section. Here we have all of those. I'm again going to go through this the way I did with my highlighters, where I'm going to just keep everything in this cubby and then we'll talk about things. We've got new things in here. We've got older things in here. We've got lots of different things going on, and not everything fits anymore because I just have too many things. So let's just get to it. I know I want to declutter the Pure Nude Baked Highlighter, Baked Blush from Essence. I know a lot of people like these, but I don't find the shade range works for me quite well. This was nice, but it was a bit too intense, and I have this shade in liquid formulas that I like better on me. So this can go. And similarly, the Cheek Affair from Catrice. Really nice, but remember what I was saying? I was going to keep this. Yeah, this is essentially the same thing, right? I mean, the blush is lighter, but it will do the same thing. So keeping the Wayne Goss, and then I can get rid of that. These are new from Essence. They are just out for spring summer. They do a purple blush now, which I'm super happy with. These were both really, really pretty on, so I want to keep both. I've only tested them out once, but first impression was very positive. This is the blush from Sydney Grace that I've just repotted into here, which I think is clever to do it that way. I like that shade a lot. From these Catrice things, the Cheek Lover line, this is the oil infused and this is the marble. I like the oil infused one better than I do the marble one. Like this is that NARS orgasm thing, but prettier for me. Like this is really, really pretty. So this one I'm going to declutter. This was one where when I was doing all of the swatches that I showed you earlier in February, I said, oh, I really need to use this. And this looks, I feel, very differently. How can I show you? This is the better. This way you can see the shade a bit better. I think this looks very different in the pan than it looks on the cheeks. This is a maybe because this is not special enough for me to keep it around. But I liked trying the new Benefit formula. Then I have, this is currently in my Shop My Stash, the Duo Blush from Pat McGrath. And it's actually really pretty. I've been using this quite a bit and I'm really liking it. And then I have one of my favorite mauve tone blushes is by Pat McGrath. This is in the shade Divine Rose. The other one is in Venusian Sunrise. This is just really pretty. I like this one a lot, so need to keep this one in here. Ooh, there we go. And then I have another one for my Shop My Stash. This is Max Dilly Dally, or I think I had this in my Shop My Stash in January. This is really pretty. It's an extra dimension blush. Loving that one. And then I just have some more MAC down here at the front. Another extra dimension. This is a magenta shade, which is in Rosy, does it? Or Rosy Cheeks. This is Rosy Cheeks. This is really pretty. This is, again, one of those deeper blushes. With a light hand, it works really well because it has a cool undertone. And then I have my MAC Glow Play blushes in Heat Index, which is really, really pretty, and I enjoy it a lot. And then I have this one from the Glow Play line. This is Rosy Does It. I like all of these, so I want to keep these around. I have the Electra blush. This is the Blush Light from Melt. Really, really pretty shade. I use it to top over my Urban Decay blush in Bittersweet, which is this one. This is a bright purple. I don't have anything else like it in my collection. And then I just have Rapture from Urban Decay, which I love in the fall time. So keeping both of those. Then we have this new one from AK Beauty brand. This is Too Cool for School. And this is the Art Class in Mauve. This is a very nice light pinky mauve tone. I can't get rid of that. Then we have, this is difficult actually. Because I like all of these now that I'm looking at everything. I have this one from Kruidvat. This is the Velvet Glow Blush. And I like this okay, but the shade was very different than what I thought it was going to be. It's very Hourglass inspired with this like baked formula. Maybe this one can go as well. That one can go. This is a maybe. This is by Ciate, and it's very similar to Urban Decay's Rapture. And I have used this a lot, as you can see, but this is also older. Not as old as the Urban Decay, because the Urban Decay I've had for even longer than I've had this. But this goes onto the maybe pile. See, if I'm going to be keeping a Benefit blush, I'm going to be keeping Gold Rush. This is from their older line, but I do want to keep that. And then I'm going to be decluttering Willa. I don't think those are too special. Then I have the Air Blush Glow from Catrice. This is really pretty. This is the Catrice blush I want to keep around. So keeping that. I have my Dior Rosy Glow. I really enjoyed that one as well. So keeping that. This cool toned one from Sephora. The Sephora collection is really pretty. I really enjoy that one. So I want to keep it. Another contender to be decluttered is the bronzer from Bare Minerals. Again, I'm just a bit over shades like this. Like this is like Willa from Benefit is essentially this shade. The Ciate one I just showed you. These like brown tones, I'm just not really into it. If I go for something like that, I would use this. This is from Etude House, the Ginger Honey Cookie Blusher from the Lovely Cookie Blusher line. I love this thing. I'm going to keep that one for sure. I have some Kiko. I have Shade Fusion. This is discontinued with the 3 shades, but this has been my favorite for years. And then I bought a new one. This is the Unlimited Blush in shade 10, Warm Mauve. But now that I have, where did it go? In the Stella Love collection, they did this, and I feel that these do essentially the same thing, so I don't need to keep both. And this is a powder and a cream in one. So I'm decluttering that one from Kiko, and then keeping the other one. Tarte, I've been like culling this part of my collection for some time. I used to have more. Natural Beauty is a really pretty reddish tone blush. So do I need to keep this? I don't use this very often, but it's a maybe pile thing. In terms of like a very neutral brown tone blush, this is the one I would go for. So keeping that, but I have Pearl Bliss from Kaleidos. And this, the shade looked very differently, I feel, online than it did when I got it home. This looks very gray toned. So I'm not sure how this is going to work for me. If it's going to look very pretty on once I have this on my cheeks, because I haven't tried that yet. But I do have this one. This is called Pale Rose. This I definitely want to keep from Kaleidos. So this is a maybe. I think I miscalculated what that shade looks like. And then I have the Kaleidos one in the bright pink. This is Dreamwalker. I have still all the other shades from this line from Kaleidos, so this is going to go into a makeup memory box. I would wear the Dior one over this. They essentially do the same thing. Then I have these Digital Dust blushes from Melt, and I love these. They are incredibly glowing, really special. I have Raw Honey, which was the first one I bought, but this is a little bit too dark for me. So that's why I never reach for that. And then I have Buzzkill, but I have other glowy peachy blushes, like the Benefit Gold Rush, that I reach for over this. So these are a little superfluous in my collection, I feel, but I can't get rid of these because they're so pretty. So I think they're going to be decluttered, but it's going to be makeup memory box vibes for sure. Then I have the Duo Blush from Natasha Denona and Ryo. This is not going anywhere. I love this thing to pieces. In terms of like a glowy blush in a peach that I love, this Essence one from the Dumbo collection I really enjoy, so that I'm going to keep. I've also reached for this Cover FX blush quite a lot this year. Mojave Mauve is the one I have. And this is a pinker tone mauve, so that's why this one gets to stay. If I go for a reddish tone blush nowadays, I reach for Lola from Nabla. And I don't reach for the Tarte one, which I have over here on the maybe pile. But this is pink, and this is like a watermelon pink, where you do get a little bit of orange running through it. I wear those kind of shades in the summertime, mainly. I have my Hourglass ones, and I need to be very honest with you. I haven't reached for these a lot. I just haven't. I have Incandescent Electra, Diffused Heat, and Mood Exposure. And I just feel that I have other things in my collection that... I have other things in my collection that I reach for over these ones. So using that logic, those three would all three have to go. Because this one, Nabla Lola, I reach for over this one. Incandescent Electra, I would reach for the Essence or the Gold Rush over that one. Mood Exposure, I reach for so many other plummy, neutrally things over that. Like the Pale Rose one I now have from Kaleidos. I reach for over that. I still have Tarte Seduce that I could reach for over that. The Etude House one, I have my Pat McGrath. Like I have a lot in a same vein. And I have a lot of this, I feel, also in my, like, my liquid collection. My creams and liquids. So, am I going to do this? Like, I would keep one of these for a makeup memory box, because these are, like, long-standing favorites. But especially Diffused Heat, I feel I would just not reach for this anymore. And I haven't reached for it in a while. So, Mood Exposure I've worn in the past year. So this has been in a Shop My Stash for sure. So keeping that one, and then I'm going to also get rid of Incandescent Electra. I'm just doing it. This Patrick Ta thing, it can go. It has a cream and a powder. It is pretty. I really, really do enjoy it. It's called She's Vibrant, but it's so pigmented. I look like a clown where I wear it, so this can go. And then I just have my two from M Cosmetics, the Baroque and Magic Hour. This is Magic Hour, and this is Baroque. This is just so much softer on the skin than anything else, and I just prefer that nowadays. So I'm going to keep those, and I'm going to declutter 2 Hourglass blushes. I had not expected that before I sat down to film this video. Okay, so that does fit, but I have no more space for anything that's on the maybe pile if I do it like this. But these are now all creams here through the middle, And then I have powders on either side, and I think that works quite well. Still undecided about this, so I am going to be putting this in. I don't want to get rid of the Tarte one in Natural Beauty, but I'm going to be decluttering these two for sure. 13 powder blushes that are decluttered. So I kind of knew, like, blush I just love and I always struggle. But this way it's a little bit more manageable. I have overview. I can see everything I have. So, yeah, this way I think it's just a little bit easier to do. So these are all going to go. And then these I need to find. Oh, wait. I still want to put these in, of course. Okay, I'll figure it out off camera. But yeah, this was my cheek declutter. I really hope you enjoyed it. So thank you so very much for watching my cheek declutter. I will figure out how to reorganize this when I put everything back into my drawers. I'm sure I'll work it out. But yeah, thank you so very much for joining me today. I have more declutters coming your way. There are 3 more left, so we are just only getting started. So I really hope you'd like to stay tuned for that. I make 4 videos on this channel every single week. I have a second channel and I have a blog where I review products. So I really hope you would like to stay tuned for more content that is coming your way. And I hope to see you on any of those spaces. So for now, take care, have a good day, and then I hope to see you in my next one. Bye-bye.